what is involved in getting all of these delegates over to this country?
Uh, I mean, although about 100 countries participate in the Arts Olympiad, but since they have to pay for their own travel to Washington, and thanks to the Coast Guards and the other military families in the area, that they offer their homes and serve as host families, which reduces costs for the international delegates, and particularly from several of the poor countries and poor communities around the world. I mean, like just like now you mentioned, Uganda. There's a very large delegation from Uganda coming to the festival, as are delegations from 61 different countries. One thing that we do at the festival is that, although the festival itself is a wonderful opportunity for children and young people to learn about different careers so that they can make wise choices regarding what career they would like to adopt. Because at the festival, we integrate arts and sport with STEM disciplines. So there are engineers, scientists, medical doctors, mathematicians. Everybody comes over there to host workshops so that a child can taste all these different careers and make a choice that is a choice for the 21st century. The second thing which I'd like to point out is that under our program, we identified through art competition in 15 DC public schools, 15 different DC ambassadors. 2 weeks ago, these ambassadors were linked up with an international delegate who's coming to Washington for the World Children's Festival. So these children now, the DC ambassador, a child from the DCPS, and a child from be it Turkey or Egypt or Peru or Argentina or Korea or Germany or Sweden. I mean, they are all communicating with each other. And there the idea is that if we know how important local environment is for a child's cognitive and educational development, if the local environment is not inspirational enough, through this virtual contacts, we try to build as much of inspiration for our children through online communication. And then when they are here physically at the festival, they are further inspired by seeing how other children in other communities, in other states in the country and in other countries around the world, how they are viewing the world, what their point of view is. So this is, some of the things that we are trying to achieve. And again, the simple website for the World Children's Festival is www.worldchildrensfestival.org. So it's just one word, World Children's Festival.
Now, where will these children will be staying? You mentioned they'll be housed with some military families. Are there any additional places that you're still trying to find for the children?
Yes, although we are most, grateful to the Coast Guard families and the military families in the area, but if any one of you would like to, if host a family, please give us a call. Our telephone number is 202-530-1000. And if you cannot host a family but would like to contribute to this charity, which is International Child Art Foundation, or ICAF, we would appreciate that very much, because the success of this festival is important for our city, for our country, and the image of our country all over the world. So please visit the International Child Art Foundation website, which is icaf.org, or www.I, C for child, A for art, F for foundation.org.
Now let me ask Captain Haynes, what type of feedback have you been receiving from the host families?
Well, we have 14 Coast Guard civilian and military members who have volunteered to host families, and the word has been very, very positive. We have from New Zealand, Sweden. In fact, my family is there. We are hosting a 13-year-old Andrea from Romania and her father. And what we're learning is we're not only learning about cultures of other countries, but we're learning about our culture. And we're also, I think when we first signed up, we didn't realize we'd become citizen diplomats. Many of our host families have received invitations from the ambassadors in this country to go to receptions at their embassies and that they're hosting. When I talk about, learning about American culture, one of the big debates in my family is how do we wanted to serve them American food and what do they define? And I have 3 children, 20, 16, and 13. And so they agreed on hamburgers and hot dogs as the first meal. The second meal is very much in debate where my kids would say it is either pizza, burritos, or Chinese takeout. And I guess I've learned that American kids have a very broad palate in there in the word food. And any good food becomes American food.
That is such an amazing story. And also, I know so many of the listeners, you all are listening to Real Talk with your host, Dr. Valencia Campbell. I know so many of the listeners can relate to the examples that you were just giving. Let me ask Portia, I know that you have had the opportunity to host families in the past, and I believe you're also doing that again this year as well. Could you share a little bit about that, your experience there?
Thank you, Dr. Campbell. Yes, I'm taking 6 delegates from Sweden, and I'm taking a delegation from our most historic university, HBCU University in America, Cheney University of Pennsylvania, Professor Marietta Fryer, who is conducting a workshop on the mall. So it is a thrill. And like Captain Haynes said, it is these families have opened their doors and become citizen diplomats. And I will say that all of the host families will be receiving the Points of Light Foundation Presidential Award for Community Service. They'll receive a certificate, a letter signed by President Obama, and a pin for their service for the 1 week. And it is a sacrifice in the sense that these families are opening their homes for a full week, and they have to make sure the children get to the National Mall. They give them breakfast and maybe dinner. So it is a great thrill, and it's a great experience for both the family and the international delegate.
That's fantastic. Dr. Ishaf, could you add a little bit more about your need to assist in the transportation for these children that are traveling all around the world and how our listeners might be able to help them with that?
For the festival, we are also seeking, volunteers, and one of the volunteers are, individuals who have, cars or vans, and who can help us, number one, to greet the children on their arrival at the airport. It's wonderful for us to, give them as warm a welcome as we possibly can. And then, some of the other stuff and materials that have to be, transported to the National Mall. As you can imagine, it's a very big undertaking. And really, we would be grateful to anyone who gets involved. If you cannot do anything, please make a donation to us. Again, visit icaf.org. All the information is there for you. This is the 4th World Children's Festival that is taking place. We have been working on, inspiring children's creativity and nurturing their empathy for the past 15 years. Every 4 years, the World Children's Festival takes place on the National Mall, and it's a big community event. So I, really look forward to you coming yourself personally, bringing your family, making any contribution that you can, be it through a donation to a 501c3 organization like ours, or through volunteering with transport, or as a host family.
And one last thing I wanted to add, I know, Portia, there was some other special guest that you have I wanted you to mention quickly, and then we'll let our listeners know a little bit about our next show.
Just wanted to mention one other point. We have also Chrysaline Petropoulos, who is a legendary Greek opera singer known really as the Maria Callas of Greece, is going to be working with the youth to sing as a tribute to Michael Jackson, We Are the World. And she will be performing that. And Dr. Ishak can give you more information in regard to the time. But imagine bringing all the children together. And I think it's a great legacy as Imagine 71 children from different countries singing We Are the World. He'd be thrilled.
That is absolutely awesome. You've been listening to Real Talk with your host, Dr. Valencia Campbell. I'd love to hear from you, the listeners, about this show. If you have some burning issue on your mind, you can email us at pgcdpc@hotmail.com. Next week, we'll be discussing finding mentors to succeed. I want to give a special thanks to Dr. Ishak, the producer of the World Children's Festival, Captain Catherine Haynes, and Miss Portia Davison of the U.S. Coast Guard for being here today. I congratulate each of you for all that you're doing to spotlight the power of the arts as an important channel for children's creative development. This will truly make a difference in inspiring our children and the nation to find ways to promote peace. Thanks for tuning in. See you next Tuesday at 9:30.